The night was unusually silent, with the only sounds being the occasional creaks and groans of the old house settling. I had always been a light sleeper, but that night, every rustle and echo seemed to echo in my ears, jolting me awake at the slightest noise. Unable to shake off my unease, I decided to investigate. Clad in my pajamas, I grabbed a flashlight and cautiously tiptoed down the stairs. As I reached the ground floor, a strange feeling washed over me, an inexplicable urge to explore. Following my instincts, I wandered into the kitchen. In the dim light of my flashlight, I noticed something odd. The pantry wall seemed slightly off, as if it didn't fit the rest of the room. My curiosity piqued. I pressed against the shelves, and to my amazement, it swung open on silent hinges, revealing a narrow passageway. My heart raced with a mixture of fear and excitement as I stepped inside, the darkness swallowing me whole. I found myself in a hidden room, its walls lined with dusty shelves filled with old books, antique dolls, and faded photographs. It was as if I had stumbled upon a forgotten museum of forgotten memories. But what struck me the most was the realization that someone had been living here within my own home. As I absorbed the eerie atmosphere, a feeling of dread settled in my chest. I turned to leave, but before I could make my escape, I heard a faint whisper, a disembodied voice that seemed to float through the air. "You shouldn't have come here," it hissed, sending shivers down my spine. Panic seized me as I rushed back into the passageway, my heart pounding in my chest. I slammed the hidden door shut, hoping to keep whatever lurked within the secret room trapped inside. But my relief was short-lived. The danger was not confined to that hidden space. Throughout the night, I heard the faintest of sounds, soft footsteps, hushed whispers, and the occasional creak of floorboards. I felt a presence lurking just beyond my line of sight, a malevolent force that seemed to study my every move. I became aware of my surroundings, my senses on high alert, but no matter how vigilant I was, the intruder always remained one step ahead. As the night wore on, the fear grew inside me. I tried to escape, to call for help, but every attempt was thwarted. It was as if the very walls of my home conspired against me, trapping me in this nightmarish ordeal. In the pitch darkness, I stumbled and fell, my flashlight clattering to the ground. As I reached for it, my fingers brushed against something cold and clammy. A hand. I recoiled in horror, realizing I was not alone in the darkness. A guttural growl echoed in the silence, followed by the sound of heavy breathing. The intruder was too close for comfort. With determination, I mustered the courage to confront my unseen assailant. I lashed out blindly, my fists connecting with something solid. The intruder howled in pain, its grip on me loosening just enough for me to escape. I ran blindly through the house, my heart racing with the desperation of escape. But the intruder was relentless, pursuing me with a chilling determination. Every corner I turned, every door I opened, it was there, its presence lurking just out of reach. Exhausted and terrified, I collapsed to the ground, my breaths coming in ragged gasps. The intruder loomed over me, its form shifting and contorting in the darkness. It whispered in my ear, "Run." Just as all hope seemed lost, I woke up, drenched in cold sweat. My heart pounded in my chest, and I frantically looked around the room, trying to make sense of my surroundings. It took me a moment to realize I was in my own bed. The familiar surroundings coming into focus, relief washed over me as I realized it was all just a nightmare, a terrifying figment of my imagination. I clung to the reality of my room, the familiar sights and sounds grounding me in the waking world. But as I looked around, a nagging sense of unease settled in my chest. I glanced at the clock, the numbers glowing ominously in the darkness. 3:33 a.m. A chill ran down my spine as I recalled my dream, the hidden room, the intruder, the desperate escape. It all felt too real, too vivid to be dismissed as a mere nightmare. As I lay in bed, My mind raced with thoughts of the hidden room and the terrifying pursuit. Had it all been a dream? I tried to push the thoughts from my mind to convince myself it was just a figment of my imagination. But no matter how hard I tried, I was left haunted by the lingering fear that perhaps, just perhaps, my nightmare had been more than just a dream. I stepped out of bed and made my way through the dark, dusty passageway. Along the inside of the wall, I moved a small piece of paper to reveal a little peephole. I looked through the peephole and could see Sarah sitting on her couch watching TV. I've been living inside her walls for 3 years now. Calmly, I whispered to myself, "Guess it was just a bad dream. Thank you for watching Night Terrors."